Hello everyone, dear friends. Tonight our story enters a new stage, one filled with tension and fear. Huyen and little Maya thought the storms were finally over. They believed their small family could at last breathe in peace. But no one expected that shadow from the past to return. Huyen's ex-mother-in-law, the woman who never accepted her new life, showed up at their door, accompanied by two strangers. She didn't come to talk. She didn't come to reconcile. She came to destroy, to threaten, and to plant terror in a family that was just beginning to heal. And tonight, when the house falls silent again, when Huyen holds Maya tightly as she falls asleep, trying to calm her own trembling heart, Yi, the man who has always stood in front to protect them, sits alone on the porch, facing in silence the fear he dares not confess. If they come back, if that woman doesn't stop, will Huyen and Maya have to leave me again? That question spins in his head, making this night feel even more suffocating than the fist that slammed the table this afternoon. What will happen next? Will the law be able to protect them? Or will this little family have to face an even bigger storm? If you want to protect Huyen and Maya, hit that like button to give them strength. And please leave a comment. What do you think Mrs. Joa will do next? Because your words of encouragement will remind this family that they never have to fight alone. That afternoon the sun had already faded, leaving only a soft yellow glow over the small courtyard. Yi and Huyen were sitting at an old bamboo table, preparing a pot of tea, smiling as they talked about how Maya's teacher had praised her dancing. The air was so peaceful you just wanted time to stop. Then, bam! The gate burst open. Bibi started barking like crazy. Huyen jumped and turned around. It was Mrs. Joa. She stood in the doorway, face red with rage, breathing heavily, eyes sharp as knives. But what made the air turn ice-cold were the two strange men behind her, broad-shouldered, cold-eyed, scanning the place like predators. He stood up immediately and stepped in front of Huyen. Mrs. Joa stormed into the courtyard, her heels echoing on the stone floor like hammer blows. "Huyen!" she shouted. "Where are you? What did you say to that man?" Ye's face went pale. "What are you doing here? Why did you bring strangers into my house?" Mrs. Joa gave a scornful laugh. "How dare you question me? I came with good intentions. I told you to withdraw the complaint so my son gets a lighter sentence. And you dare refuse me?" The two men behind her smirked, looking at Huyen like she was easy prey. He took another step forward, placing himself completely in front of his wife. His voice turned low and cold as ice. "Mrs. Joa, you still have the nerve to show your face here. Huyen is my wife. From now on, you have no right to interfere in our lives." Mrs. Joa let out a loud, venomous laugh. "Wife? You think that girl is your wife? She belongs to my family. Whatever I say, she does." He clenched his fists but stayed calm. "Stop pressuring Huyen. We don't want any more trouble." Mrs. Joa stepped closer, pointing a shaking finger in Ye's face. "I don't care what you want. I want her to withdraw the complaint. And if she doesn't..." She spun toward the bamboo table, eyes bloodshot, and screamed, "I will make sure you never have peace again." Boom. She slammed her fist down. The already worn bamboo table split in two. The teapot crashed to the ground, shattering, hot water splashing over Huyen's feet. Huyen let out a choked scream and stumbled back in terror. He grabbed her hand in a flash and pulled her behind him. Bibi kept barking furiously, hackles raised, but the two men took one step forward and the dog shrank back in fear. Ye's face darkened. His voice shook with barely contained rage. "You dare destroy my things in my own house? What exactly are you planning to do?" Mrs. Joa pointed at him, trembling with fury. "I'll make you get on your knees and beg for forgiveness. You think marrying her fixes everything? If my son suffers, none of you will live in peace." He took a deep breath. His eyes showed something new, the look of a man ready to fight to the death. He spoke slowly, every word heavy. "One more step, and I call the police right now." Dead silence fell over the courtyard. The two men exchanged uneasy glances. Mrs. Joa gave a mocking laugh. "Fine. Let's see how long you last. She turned on her heel. We're leaving. The gate slammed shut behind them like thunder. All that remained was Juyen's ragged breathing and the cold running down Ye's spine. Huyen, still shaking, clung to Ye's arm. He placed a hand on her shoulder and squeezed gently. It's okay. I'm here. No one will hurt you or Maya. But behind his eyes burned a much deeper fear. Mrs. Joa hadn't come just to threaten. This was only the beginning. The gate has been closed for a long time, but that cold metallic sound still echoes in Juyen's chest like a hammer against her heart. In the courtyard lie the broken pieces of the bamboo table, the shattered teapot, and the spilled water spreading across the brick floor. The warm atmosphere of their little home now feels buried under a thick layer of oppressive darkness. Huyen stands there, hands still trembling, staring at the wreckage as if seeing her peaceful life trampled under someone's feet. Her body sways. Yi catches her just in time. That single touch breaks the dam she had been holding back. She throws herself into his arms, hugging him tightly, tears falling like a torrential rain. I'm so scared, Yi. Why? Why did they come here? Why did she bring those men? What do they want to do to us? He holds her close, stroking her back, but even his own hand is shaking. He tries to keep his voice steady. Nothing's going to happen. I'm here. I won't let anyone hurt you or Maya. But Huyen hears the slight tremor in his words. Her fear grows heavier. She looks up, eyes red and swollen. They'll come back, won't they? They'll do something even worse. Yi is silent for a few seconds, a silence that stops Juyen's heart. She grips his shirt. Tell me the truth. Ye's eyes darken. He grips her shoulders. I think this is far from over. And there's a real chance they'll do more than just break a table. Huyen hugs him so tightly her knuckles turn white. God, and Maya. What if they come when she's home? What if they go to her school? She can't finish. Her whole body shakes violently. He holds her even tighter, as if trying to shield her with his own body. That will never happen. I swear. I'll sacrifice anything to stop it. His voice cracks, just barely, but Huyen hears it. And inside his fear hides one much greater. She buries her face in his chest, voice breaking. I have a terrible feeling. Something big is coming. I don't know why, but I'm so scared I can barely breathe. The evening wind blows hard, lifting fragments of broken bamboo with a cold, metallic sound. Yi holds her tighter. Huyen, trust me. Tonight I'm calling the police. If they want to scare us, I'll face them head-on. Huyen clings to him. Yi, don't hide anything from me anymore. His expression flickers, something quick he tries to conceal. Huyen sees it. She lifts her tear-streaked face, voice desperate. Yi, is there someone else targeting our family? The air around them seems to freeze. For the first time, Yi doesn't answer immediately. But then his gaze hardens with unbreakable resolve. No. We can't let her keep terrorizing us like this. You and I, we're ending this once and for all. Huyen bites her lip, tears still falling. But if she comes back, if she does something to Maya. Ye's voice drops, steady as stone. Then we call the police. She has already crossed the line. I swear to you, tonight and every night, no one will touch you or Maya. A tiny spark of hope appears in Juyen's red eyes. She nods. He takes her hand firmly, a silent vow that from this moment on, they will face everything together. The iron door of the police station opened. Cold white light spills over the tiled floor. The room is so quiet it seems to swallow every breath. Huyen squeezes Ye's hand harder, her heart still unsteady after the shock. Yi walks to the counter. Hello. We need to file a report. His voice isn't loud, but it's enough. A young officer turns immediately, calm but serious. What happened? Please come in. He leads them to a small office lit by harsh neon lights. An empty report book lies open on the table. He pulls out a chair for Huyen, then sits beside her, never letting go of her hand. The officer opens the book. Tell me everything from the beginning. Yi takes a deep breath. All the fear, anger, and helplessness of the past days tighten in his throat. This afternoon my wife's ex-mother-in-law came to our house with 2 unknown men. They forced their way into our courtyard, destroyed our things, and threatened my wife. The officer's pen pauses. Threatened with words or actions? Both, Yi answers. She said she won't let us live in peace. And this isn't the first time. Huyen, voice small but clear, adds, they broke our table, smashed the teapot, and the way they looked at us was terrifying. My daughter was in the house. She can't continue. The officer nods gravely. Can you identify the 2 men? They shake their heads. But the way they carried themselves, he says, they looked hired. The officer's expression sharpens. I need you to file a formal complaint right now. This could be more serious than you think. Yi squeezes Huyen's hand. She looks at him, worry still there, but for the first time today, a faint ray of hope. The officer continues, be prepared. Once we start investigating, she will probably react even harder. Huyen's face pales, but Ye's eyes burn cold. We're not afraid. As long as we can protect Maya and Huyen, I'm ready for anything. The officer nods. Good. Start talking. The pen is ready. The blank page opens. And with that, the legal battle officially begins. The walk home is darker than usual. The yellowish streetlights cast long shadows behind them. Huyen holds Ye's hand, not just for affection, but to cling to the little calm she has left. After a long silence she whispers, almost lost in the wind. Yi, we filed the report. Do you think she'll dare come back? Yi stops walking. He turns to her, not angry, but with an icy determination she has never seen before. He takes both her hands, voice low and heavy. Huyen, listen carefully. She looks up. If she ever steps 1 foot inside our house again, I will put her in the same place as her son. The wind howls through the trees. Huyen freezes. She has never heard that voice from him, the voice of a man pushed to the edge. He stares into her eyes, deep and unyielding. I will not let anyone make you cry again. I will not let anyone make Maya afraid. I will not let anyone destroy this family. Not her, not anyone from the past. Huyen's lips tremble. Tears fall onto his hand. But, if she brings more people, if they hurt you. Yi gently cups her cheek. I can take it. The only thing I can't take is you and Maya suffering. A tear rolls down and lands warm on his hand. Huyen nods weakly and leans her head on his shoulder, like someone who has finally found shelter in the middle of a storm. Hand in hand, they walk toward their little house. But behind them, in the darkness, the wind keeps blowing, as if warning that this war is far from over. The little house is wrapped in silence. Only crickets and the soft wind through the palm roof. Inside the bedroom, Huyen holds sleeping Maya tightly against her chest. The child breathes peacefully, angelic and unaware. Huyen lets herself be lulled by that rhythm, eyelids growing heavy in a peace that almost hurts. Yi stands in the doorway, watching them. The warm yellow light falls over mother and daughter, so beautiful it fills his heart with joy, and at the same time ties it in knots. He closes the door gently, careful not to wake them. Then he steps out onto the porch and sits on the old wooden chair. The night air is cold as the thoughts crushing his chest. He covers his face with both hands and breathes deeply. The smile he wore all evening is gone. In the darkness he whispers to himself. What if Huyen runs away again? He swallows hard. If Joa keeps causing trouble, if TUC does something reckless, if Huyen gets scared and takes Maya far away. His chest tightens painfully. He closes his eyes. The memory plays like a slow, cruel movie. The day he found them again, the day Huyen stood in front of the old house with Maya in her arms. He knows it too well. Losing them once almost killed him. Losing them a second time. He might not survive. Yi leans his head back against the wall, voice barely audible, broken. It was so hard to get them back. I'm so terrified I can't breathe, that they'll disappear from my life again. His eyes are red. His whole body trembles with anxiety. Then, as if speaking directly to all of you watching this story, Yi looks into the darkness, straight into your eyes, and whispers, "Friends, if you were in my place, what would you do to keep this happiness? How would you overcome the fear that one day the woman and child you love most might vanish forever?" He clenches his fists. A single tear falls, burning hot on the back of his hand. The night breeze blows gently. But inside Yi, a real storm rages. The storm of a man who loves his family so much that the thought of losing them hurts more than death itself.